Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Yeah, we only take a look at the shorter time frame. In my last video yesterday, I took a look at the daily. If you're interested in that, yeah, you can find the video on the channel. That gives you the context of this current price action here. I just want to give you a quick look, or a quick update here about the microstructure, this range that we're dealing with. Support is still defined, local support is still defined between 60,225 and 62,104. And yesterday I explained to you that we could have topped in wave B, and wave C to the downside might be unfolding towards the 62,000 level, maybe even a bit lower. But because of the slightly overshooting B wave, we might not even get to the box. Then looking at the microstructure, I said, okay, if this is another one too, then it should, possibly reach 61.5K, 61K. But the micro resistances that I gave you, they are currently being attacked. I've removed them now because the wave count is already shifting. We can see that. So that means that one of two things could happen here. Yeah. 1 second, just need to adjust that. I'm just seeing that now. This here would be a 2, possibly. Oops, but we can talk about that now. So, 2, okay. So the idea is that this move down could still unfold as a C wave. So from the high yesterday, okay, which would be a 5-wave move. So it's still possible as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In this case, however, it cannot be an impulse. The way it started yesterday looked quite promising, looked impulsive. The first warning came already in the last video. When I made the last video, we saw already here a break of the 50% retracement of this decline. You might remember that if you watched the video. And that was already a warning that maybe things are starting to shift. Then it did react, however, in the end to the micro resistance, moved down, and now is moving up again. This shouldn't really happen in that way if this C wave to the downside, which started from yesterday, is an impulse. So it can be a diagonal pattern that's still valid, so that we indeed had something like a 1, 2, 3 waves in wave A of 3. It's now doing a wave B, I haven't labeled it, of 3, and then a C of 3, then another 4, 5. That's still valid. The invalidation point for this scenario as a diagonal is the 64,015 level. That's swing high from yesterday here, wave 2 high. Or what's also possible is that all of this is a wave 1, but then we're quite far already. That wave 1 would be very extended. It would have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as a diagonal. In this case, this would be resistance, 63,767 to 64,378. I find this scenario a little bit more likely because the way it's moving up suggests that we should reach that resistance area, might even take out that small swing high there that we had yesterday, that we formed yesterday. So yeah, I think the blue count is plausible. Above 64,378, this will become less likely. And in this scenario, then I would have to assume that we are not in a C wave to the downside. And from a micro count point of view, then we could say, I know it is frustrating, but we could say, okay, maybe this was a B and the C is still happening. And that B shifts over here and we just delay that test of support again. Well, see, this is where micro counting isn't so helpful. We still do it because we're in a boring range. But that's also why I explained yesterday in my first video around the same time why micro counting is really not so helpful in corrections. It can be for micro setups if we see impulses, but if there is no impulse, it's even more challenging. So, but that's my current view. I think there's still a good chance to test support again and form that one more lower low. The only question is, does it happen more directly? Or do we get an extended B wave here and we test that area around 64,800 again? So it's essentially just a range, right? You could also just draw yourself here a trend line and then see that this here is simply something like a price channel, yeah? So the price is just moving within, and because we are dealing with back-to-back corrective price action, and there are more than 13 corrective patterns in Elliott Wave, the structure will naturally shift. And it can do that, and I can only say, you know, let it do that. What we have is we have some clear parameters to watch. We've got the support area between 62,100 and 60,225, with which we're still watching for higher prices, or against which. And I'm still watching for one more high, maybe two, especially as long as we're holding 60,225. And that's also important, the move down, there hasn't been any impulsive move down so far. So all pullbacks remain corrective, which, as I said, keeps the door open for higher prices, which is also another, let's say it's another reason for me to continue to look for higher prices. Yeah, impulses down would definitely make me more cautious, but there is no impulse down at the moment. So I keep you updated. Levels haven't changed. For the daily chart, consider yesterday's last video. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.